he couldn't quite break into the circle. And this was Marguerite Young's characterization of that dream. And I thought it was fascinating because I think a lot of Carson's friends felt that Reeves was the outsider. And there are many reasons for this. And I think one thing that impresses me is that Reeves, according to his relatives, was always a Southerner, proud to be a Southerner, interested in the South, collected the stories. Carson tended to use the South as an emblem, a symbol, a land which she used for her own, her own imaginative grist, but she really didn't care about the South, didn't care for the South. She told Ralph McGill, editor of the Atlanta Constitution, that every night when she went to bed in Columbus, she always pointed her shoes toward New York City. This was the land. She was in love with the idea of being a writer, and the place to be a writer is to go to New York City. That's where the action is. It's like a starstruck youngster who finds fame and somehow has difficulty appropriating all this means. I think Carson's situation is that Reeves had roots, I believe. I think he's rooted firmly in South Georgia and partially in Wetumpka, Alabama. And Carson never had those roots that go deep down into the soil of human experience in the South. He was concerned that he took the drug that alcoholics took at that time to help them along. He had a fear of becoming alcoholic. She said she did not think he was alcoholic, that she had known alcoholics. In fact, when I knew Kathleen, I think she was an alcoholic. But she felt that Reeves was not the alcoholic type, that he was too concerned about his health and about his future. And so he would invite her to these AA meetings and so. But I gather, sure, he had bouts with alcoholism. And I think, when he finished he was a captain, wasn't he, when he finished the Army?
Yeah, and he actually won, he was given 2 Medal of Honors and, and the Purple Heart.
I mean, yes, here's a real man's man now, and a person with great patriotism and love of country, love of region. And so the tragedy is that he never was able to fulfill his dreams of youth. Well, it's interesting how people will observe a person at a certain time and conclude that he is an alcoholic or he's dry. But Kathleen knew him pretty well, intimately, and she said he's not the alcoholic type. So, well, I don't know, but it's a puzzle. So you can that's what your project is all about, to sort of fit all the pieces together. But the low self-esteem thing. There's probably some of that at work in Carson McCullers too. I think she probably was fascinated with the Southern way of talking, Southern speech, but she wasn't interested in Southern history, her teachers say, and she wasn't interested in Southern politics. She liked the sound of black people, but she didn't really identify with black Southerners. She spent time with Lillian Smith. I think a lot of Carson's relationships with authors, it seems to me, is just a total South Georgian looking at it from Reeves' point of view. She was a starstruck person who was just fascinated with these established writers who did so well. And the irony is that when Reeves died in France, and his family looked for Carson everywhere. They couldn't find her anywhere. They had to make all these decisions alone, according to local sources. And after they had made the decision not to have an autopsy, they found her living in Clayton, Georgia with Lillian Smith. You know that story. So there, I think probably both of them might have had some feelings of inferiority, which are common to most people.